What if a building wasn't just a structure, but a secret? A secret so grand, so unbelievable, that if you knew it, you could sell it. What if a man with nothing more than a silver tongue and an elegant suit could walk into a city and within a week sell its most famous landmark? This is not a story of a heist. It's a story of a con. A story of a man who looked at the most famous monument in the world, the Eiffel Tower, and saw not a symbol of France, but a gold mine waiting to be sold. This is the unbelievable but true story of the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. Twice. His name was Count Victor Lustig. He was born in what is now modern-day Czechia, but his true home was wherever a new mark was waiting. Lustig wasn't a criminal who used force. He was an artist who used psychology. He spoke 5 languages, carried a briefcase full of fake bonds, and had a charm so potent it was his most dangerous weapon. Lustig had a legendary list of rules for any con artist. Rule number 1, be a patient listener. Rule number 3, never be the first to introduce a deal. And rule number 5, never be boring. It was a philosophy of deception that would lead him to the biggest scam of his life. After a series of smaller scams, Lustig found himself in Paris in the year 1925. He was looking for a new, grand con. While reading a newspaper, he stumbled upon an article that sparked a brilliant idea. The article was about the Eiffel Tower's maintenance issues and how expensive it was to keep up. The Eiffel Tower, originally built for the World's Fair in 1889, was never meant to be a permanent structure. It was supposed to be torn down after 20 years, but public demand saved it. However, the old wrought iron structure was a constant financial burden. Lustig knew this was his opportunity. His plan was simple and insane. He would pretend to be a government official and sell the Eiffel Tower as scrap metal. Lustig had a forged stationery with the official seal of the French government. He sent out invitations to 6 of the city's top scrap metal dealers, asking them to a secret meeting to discuss a matter of national importance. In his letter, he wrote that the government was secretly planning to dismantle the Eiffel Tower because it was too expensive to maintain. The dealers showed up, intrigued and ready. Lustig, dressed in an immaculate suit and a top hat, delivered his pitch. He told them that due to public protest, the project was being kept a secret. The scrap deal had to be handled discreetly and without a public bidding process. He emphasized that the dealer who won the contract would have to pay a significant amount up front to the official in charge, meaning him. 5 of the dealers were suspicious, but one man was hooked. His name was André Poisson. Poisson was a businessman who was new to Paris. He was desperate to make a name for himself in the city's high society. He saw the deal not just as a business opportunity, but as a chance to secure his status forever. Lustig, ever the master psychologist, sensed Poisson's desire. He took Poisson on a private tour of the Eiffel Tower, pointing out all the rusty sections and the costly repairs needed. The convincing tour made the scam even more real. Poisson was convinced, but Poisson had one final doubt. He suspected that Lustig was a corrupt official looking for a bribe. This, ironically, was the final piece of the puzzle for Lustig. He confessed to Poisson that he was, indeed, looking for a bribe. Lustig said that government officials like him didn't make a living on their meager salaries. They depended on these extra funds. Poisson's doubts vanished. He wasn't dealing with a scammer. He was dealing with a normal, corrupt bureaucrat. He felt relieved. He paid Lustig a large sum of cash, not only for the contract, but also for the bribe. Lustig took the money and, with his accomplice, immediately boarded a train to Austria. It took a few days for Poisson to realize he had been conned. By then, Lustig was long gone. Poisson, humiliated and ashamed, never reported the crime to the police. He was too embarrassed to admit he was fooled so easily. And because he didn't, Lustig came back to Paris a month later and tried to sell the Eiffel Tower to another scrap dealer. He almost succeeded, but the second dealer was suspicious and called the police. Lustig barely escaped and fled to America. Victor Lustig was never convicted for the Eiffel Tower scam. He eventually got caught for a massive counterfeiting operation and died in prison in 1947. But his legend lives on. The story of the man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice is a testament to the power of a perfect story and the eternal allure of a lie. The Eiffel Tower wasn't a piece of metal, it was a symbol. And the scam wasn't about selling a monument, it was about selling a dream to a man consumed by greed. Lustig's success wasn't because he was a criminal mastermind, but because he understood human psychology better than anyone else. Do you think anyone could get away with a scam like this today? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more untold stories of history.